All right, good evening, everybody. It's Royce Thomason here on Wednesday, October 21st, 2021. It's another Wednesday Hope and Healing Hour. We typically have been doing these actually for the last several months. We've been doing them at noon Central Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And one of the things I've been contemplating, we started doing this early on during COVID 19 and social distancing when a lot of people were at home during the day. A lot of things have started opening back up again, and a lot of the people who've been coming to our broadcasts that were taking place uh, right in the middle of the day had been unable to come and participate. And so, one of the things I've been actually contemplating for a little while is actually switching it up a little bit and doing maybe in the evening or on the weekend or something to allow those people who've actually started going back to work in a physical location or those who are no longer able to come and partake of our sharing together in the middle of the day. Well, depending on what a person's time zone is that they're in. We've had people actually spanning the globe in 12 hours difference of time span. Um, so, at any rate, we decided to go ahead and broadcast at 6 p.m. Uh, Eastern Time this evening. Whether we continue to do that or not, I'm still kind of working some things out where that's concerned. I know it was a couple minutes after 6 that we got started today. For whatever reason, we were having some technology issues, and for whatever reason, StreamYard was not connecting. And we ultimately had to cancel the broadcast going to the Transcending the Matrix Facebook group. But we're still broadcasting to YouTube, to Matrix Healing on the YouTube channel, and also just my own personal Facebook page. So see that we've got a couple people who are here this evening. Certainly would like to welcome you. I only know that you're here if you comment. I'm not able to see who enters the broadcast nor who actually even likes or loves or responds or reacts in any kind of way to the posting. The only way I know who's here is based on who actually comments. So if you're willing to comment, we certainly would like to know that you're here, and we'd love to acknowledge you. And it's a little bit more interesting than just sitting here looking at this green dot that I'm looking at on my computer. So definitely like to know that there are actually live humans who are out there that are receiving what it is that we have to share. So we come on each week for a hope and healing hour, offering some encouragement, some hope, and yes, actually some healing. We have had people who've come on and received healing related to physical conditions that they were dealing with. We've had people come on and receive some healing as it relates to different mental and emotional things going on as well. So we're always happy to make that available. It is an option that's available. We're happy to serve in that way. I believe that one of the ways that we serve God is by serving people, and this is a way that I feel very honored and thankful to be able to serve God through people as it relates to healing and just ministering to people's souls in whatever way I can. And so, kind of our theme for today's Wednesday Hope and Healing Hour is seeing past appearances. Seeing past appearances. In scripture and scriptures of many different traditions, it's talked about that things aren't really quite as they seem. In the book of First Corinthians in the Bible, in the New Testament, it talks about right now we see dimly, like through a glass dimly. There is an eschewing of our perspective. We're not seeing things exactly as they are, but a time shall come where we shall see things clearly, and we'll see ourselves and others in a right light. In the ancient Sanskrit, there's a term that's called Maya. And the word Maya is frequently translated as illusion. Okay, but perhaps a more accurate rendering of that concept of Maya or that term Maya is that things are not as they seem, that things are not as they appear. One of the things that we see in terms of the healing and that we kind of train ourselves to do in terms of the healing is to look beyond what appears to be the physical situation that a person is dealing with or whatever that difficult situation that a person is dealing with, whether physical or otherwise, and see beyond that to a greater truth in the situation. So I don't personally know of any greater healer than Jesus. I've known of a lot of healers, powerful healers. I don't know of one more powerful than Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus the Christ. And one of the things that I've come to realize is that uh, probably before I even was on this path, serving in the capacity of healing and bringing healing to people, is that people had certain ailments or conditions that they were dealing with. It was very much present to them. They were very much aware of what their challenges were, whether it was leprosy or blindness or hemorrhaging or any other type of situation. They were very tuned in to the fact that they had some kind of problem or situation going on. One of the things that we talk about in terms of healing is that really the root of all, even physical conditions, are really rooted in the mind, not just the brain, but in the mind, which is stored in the cells of which is stored within the DNA of every cell of your body. Okay. And different situations show up in the body based on unresolved things that are showing up in the cells of that particular part of the body. And so, um, and I'm not saying that it's all mental per se. That wouldn't really be a accurate telling. But the truth of the matter is that our minds do project outwardly through our bodies and through our life experiences. Okay. And a lot of times we can suffer from a situation and our attention to that situation can further intensify it. One of the things I learned a long time ago is that if I have a mosquito bite or some kind of insect bite and it itches, if I just try to still myself, the itching will go away. If I scratch it, the itching gets much, 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 much worse, and it doesn't really go away. I had a situation like that just this weekend where I was a smorgasbord for some mosquitoes apparently Saturday night, and it was itching pretty badly. But I was able to, by the grace of God, just kind of take my attention off of that because where um, where attention goes, energy flows. So where you pay attention, what you put your attention on, what you focus on grows, and it expands and it becomes more intensified. So uh, it definitely is the case, just from what I've seen over and over on thousands of cases, that there's always a deeper cause to what a person is experiencing as a health condition, whether it's a physical health condition or a mental, emotional, or otherwise condition. It's always rooted in something deeper. And clearly, Jesus was aware of this. He trained the disciples how to heal people. There are currently many, many people who are serving in the capacity as vessels of healing all across the globe. Many different people who are working in the light, if you will, serving as light workers who are helping themselves and others to experience something um, more fulfilling in terms of life experiences as it relates to health. Okay, and one of the things that I really appreciated that I've come to understand through my studying of Jesus is that he believed in people's wholeness more than they believed in their sickness. I want to say that again. He believed in their wholeness more than they believed in their sickness. And in the presence of his belief in their wholeness, the sickness couldn't exist anymore. Because whatever the strongest vibration is, that's the one that actually wins. The one where the most attention is being directed, that's what actually happens. Had somebody asked me a couple decades ago, maybe, or at least it was maybe not that long ago, but it was definitely over 15 years ago. They said if one person is praying for one thing and somebody else is praying for the opposite thing, even regarding a person in the same situation, but praying two different sides of the situation, which prayer will get answered was the question that was asked. And what my response was is the one with the most juice, the one with the most energy put behind it, the one with the most, I want to put this in a way that's not confusing, because I could see how it could very easily come across as misleading or being taken a way that's different from, or misconstrued in a way that's different than how I'm really wanting to articulate it. But the best example that I could give is, again, this case with Jesus. He believed in people's wholeness more than they believed in their sickness. And so in the presence of that, their sickness couldn't dwell anymore. Okay, their sickness couldn't remain anymore. Now, in terms of this whole bit about seeing past appearances, a lot of times a person will appear to be sick. They'll appear to have issues. I even, and I've been at this for a long time, I even at different points through this whole coronavirus thing, people would be talking about the virus and then I'd start feeling some phantom symptoms. I knew I didn't have it, but I'd start feeling some phantom symptoms just from the conversation, or I'd go out and I'd see at the very beginning, I'd see people wearing masks everywhere, and then I'd start having these phantom symptoms, like on the spot. Even the symptoms don't even show up that quickly. But the mind is very powerful, and it can definitely create in our experience. And in fact, it does create in our experience in very powerful ways, whether those things are things that we're creating consciously or things that we're creating unconsciously. But one of the beauties and the gifts of a healer, one of the beauties and the gifts of someone who is in alignment with the working of miracles, whether it's healing miracles or otherwise, deals with their ability to see beyond the way that things seem and tap into and align with a greater truth. All right. Seen so many people who've been dealing with chronic pain, and by the grace of God, being able to see beyond that as their experience, I was able to be a vessel through which they were able to get beyond that. Okay. There are a lot of situations where we deal with people who we just basically feel are jerks. You know, they don't really rub us quite the right way. Unfortunately, a lot of times they're representing aspects of ourselves that we haven't fully owned. And that sometimes is part of what irritates us about them. Sometimes what irritates us about people is that they have fully owned things about ourselves, things that we ourselves have not fully owned, that we would like to see manifest more bountifully and abundantly in our lives, and may have some jealousies or some other issues going up, even if we don't allow ourselves to recognize that. Greetings, Dr. Kafera. Good to see you here today, and to everybody else who's here today as well. But do you know that I think about my mind, and I don't know if Dulcie is here right now or not. Dulcie is frequently on our lives, and she's in Hawaii, and there's an approach called the Ho'aponopono, or forgive me if I messed it up somewhere along the way, but it's something like that. And there was a psychologist or psychiatrist who took a post um, at a facility for the criminally insane. These aloha Dulcie, so you are here. So Ho'aponopono or something like that. Anyway, he took a position at a facility for the criminally insane. These were people who had done some seriously bad stuff and were completely out of their minds. No sense of remorse for the things they did or anything. And thank you for spelling that out there, Dulcie. I'm not sure if I pronounced it properly or not, but there you go. It's on the screen right now. And I'll see if I can make that a little bit bigger so it's a little bit easier to see. There, that's a little bit bigger, a little easier to see that way. So at any rate, he went in. People, there was such a high turnover rate because it was a hellacious place to be. It was not a place that people felt a warm fuzzy going in to work at. It was a dangerous place. And just imagine that for people who saw Silence of the Lambs, just imagine going somewhere where it's a bunch of Hannibal Lecters all over the place. It's not a place that people really would be excited to go to work at. So anyway, this gentleman took this position. He started going through the files. He started working with these people who were there, who were inmates, residents, whatever you'd call it there. But he did not feel guided to interact directly with the people. What he did, though, is he went through their files and he saw so many horrible things that had happened in these people's life experience that really essentially made them who they ended up becoming. Some really tragic, very traumatic things that ended up happening. And those kind of things can actually, I did like this. I didn't do that to think crazy, but I mean, there are things that a person could experience in life that can actually cause certain parts of the brain to stop developing. They can cause certain parts of the brain to become overactive. Okay, and really, how your personality shows up, your decisions, your choices, those things are very much functions of your brain chemistry, your brain wiring, how your brain actually operates. So in a normal functioning brain, there are certain things that happen and there are certain things that don't happen. In a person with a normal functioning brain, there is some degree of a sense of compassion. There's a degree of a sense of remorse and regret and things of that nature. There are the people who that part of the brain just isn't working right. And they can do some really horrendous things and not even feel bad about doing it. And that really, a person could have actually a closed head injury and become that way. Dr. Lynn, thank you for posting that, Dulcie. And so he actually started working with the people just with their files, and he started feeling just a tremendous amount of compassion for what they had been through. And if I don't get this quite right, forgive me, but it's kind of just the gist of it. And he would just say over and over again as he was going through these people's files and reflecting upon these various people, I love you. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. Okay. He was speaking love into their life. He was really delving into a significant degree of compassion for what they had been through. And he was taking 100% responsibility actually for their healing and their well-being. and he was taking significant responsibility for their healing and their well-being. And he just continued doing this with these people, and all of them ended up getting well. Okay. He ended up, yes, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Um, I love you. And I'm pretty sure the last one is thank you. I didn't remember necessarily the exact order. Yes, thank you, Dulcie. I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you and thank you. Okay. So there wasn't any amount of prescription medication that could have healed that broken spot within them. Okay. Again, they had gone through all kinds of horrendous things, and those things made them who they became and led them to do the things that they did. This person, I'm just giving an example here with Dr. Lynn, saw beyond their behavior. And that's something that's real key. I just today, I actually found out right before starting this live today that I apparently am, as of today, divorced. Um, and there's a certain grieving process that comes with that. Um, but in any type of relationship, whether it's a romantic relationship or otherwise, it's so important to see beyond a person's behavior and to see the truth of who the person is, to recognize that we are not what we do, and to be able to distinguish what a person does from who a person is. I was teaching a class earlier dealing with people who, a class that's related to people finding new opportunity. A lot of people who have been working with the same company for quite a while, doing the same thing for quite a while, now find themselves unemployed due to COVID-19. I do some work with a nonprofit where I teach some classes, sharing some tools and resources, um, and some methodologies that could be beneficial to them in their prospect of finding a new opportunity. A lot of the people who come to the classes are people who are very well educated, people who live, who have very experienced varying degrees of success professionally. Most of them more professional success than I have, actually. Um, a lot of really well educated people who find themselves now in a position of being out of work, being in transition. One of the things I aim to communicate is, when we are interacting with people, even if you meet somebody romantically, potentially romantically, one of the first things you ask is, what do you do? Okay. When a person isn't currently working, or they're not doing what they have been doing, they lose their sense of identity, because we have this mistake in our societies to such a degree of confusing what a person does with who a person is. And that's true whether we're talking about what a person does to earn a paycheck or what a person does in terms of mistakes that they might make in their life. We have to be able to distinguish what it is that a person does from a person's actual identity, who they are as an actual person, who they are as a spiritual being. And we all have some areas where we aren't quite where we would like to be. We all have some areas where we've made some mistakes and done some things wrong. And some of us have done some real foul stuff. Some of us um, have done things that we're not proud of doing, or have impacted others in ways that we're really not proud of. And it can be so easy to look at the things that a person does, or look at where a person is, where their station in life might be, and to form all types of judgments about them. All types of judgments based on whatever our perspective is, which usually is a very, very limited perspective. I was having a conversation with my brother Damien the other day, where he was sharing You all are perhaps familiar with the actor Chadwick Boseman. He played James Brown in the movie Get On Up. He played Jackie Robinson in the movie 42. He played um, uh, Supreme Court Justice. Well, he became Supreme Court Justice Thurgood Marshall in the movie Marshall, and he played Black Panther in several Marvel films. And one of his most recent movies was a movie called The Five Bloods. And in this movie, there was a gentleman. He was acting, and um, he was filming while he was going through chemotherapy. Nobody knew that. Nobody knew that he was going through what he was going through. Nobody even knew that he had cancer. He passed a few months ago, but nobody knew what he was going through. Another one of the actors in this particular film, one of his co-stars in the film, uh, who's maybe not as well known of an actor, maybe not had as many roles quite so prominent as Mr. Boseman. He made a comment about him having a lot of handlers. He saw that there were always a lot of people around him, and he thought that he was like just being like a basically like a male diva, a divo or something. And when he ended up, when he passed, and ended up realizing that he actually had cancer and was, in stages of cancer, and that people around him were like massage therapists that were helping him to clear his lymphatic system and such, and helping with his pain and everything. He felt really bad once he learned what the real deal was. It can be so easy for us to look at somebody and make a rush judgment, make a prejudgment about who a person is, or what a person's situation is. And a lot of those tend to be negative judgments, and thoughts of condemnation towards other people, when really we don't know exactly what their situation is. And so, what I definitely want to encourage us to do is to look beyond what things might appear to be, and to be able to look through the eyes of compassion. Now, specifically as it relates to those of us who consider ourselves healers, to be able to look beyond even what their health situation is, and see beyond that health situation to the truth of who they really are. And the truth of who they really are is whole, perfect, and complete. The truth of who they really are is spiritual beings who were actually never born and who will never die. Just their body was born, and the body will return to the earth. But that they're whole, that they're perfect, that they're complete, that no sickness can come to who they truly are. And the more the person who is serving in the capacity of the healer knows that and taps into that, the more effective they're able to be in helping a person to experience the manifestation of healing miracles or medical miracles. Now, I do want to offer, if there is anyone out there today who is dealing with any type of physical pain, any type of health situation, or growth opportunity, anybody who has anything that's kind of weighing them down or anything, who would like to, take advantage of the opportunity to receive some lightening of the load, aka some healing, uh, definitely please let us know. Please let us know in the chat. I'd be more than happy to serve in that capacity. One of the things I want you to know is that regardless of where you are or what you're going through, that God loves you, that you're precious, and that you're cherished. You have worth and you have value, and you don't have to be in the state of suffering. There are opportunities available. You don't have to live the rest of your life in pain. Uh, no matter what the situation is, I am a true believer in the fact that there's nothing beyond God's healing power. I'm not going to tell you that there's nothing that's beyond Royce's healing power. I'm a vessel of the healing, but I'm not the ultimate healer. There are some areas where my own ego gets in the way. But there are a lot of situations where I've been able to keep that at bay by the grace of God, and been able to be a vessel of healing for people in a lot of different situations. So if there is anybody who's open to some healing, who would like some healing right now, please let us know. We're certainly more than happy to serve in that capacity. If not, I will probably just cut the Hope and Healing Hour a little bit short this evening. We've had times where we've been well over 2 hours. The idea is that it's not generally that long, but we certainly have had several that have been well over an hour. But if there's anybody who would like some healing, we're more than happy to offer that. And if not, we'll just shut it down in a few minutes, and we'll reconnect with you all sometime in the very near future. I see there are a couple people who are here. Again, if you want to say hello, if it's someone other than the people who've been commenting earlier, two healers actually, very good at what they do. Um, if anyone else is here, we'd certainly like to acknowledge you. Anyone want any healing, we're certainly happy to serve in that capacity. Also, something that we do want to let you know is that not only is God a healer and is every situation within the realm of what can be healed, but actually you can tap into the healing power of God. Yes, I'm thankful to be able to help people, and have been able to help a lot of people, by the grace of God. But it's not just limited to me. I would hate to be the only one going around here doing this stuff. Well, I mean, I know I wouldn't be, because there are other people who are walking in that calling, if you will, of healing. But this is something that we each possess within us. It's just a matter of accessing it. Not all of us know how to access it. Like I said earlier on, Jesus taught the disciples how to heal people. I received a word from God a long time ago. I'm going to teach you how to heal people. And that's how it came. And that's what happened. And now I share with people how to access the healing power of God on behalf of themselves and others. And if that's something that you're interested in, please let us know. We're definitely more than happy to make that available. I'll just post that here. If anybody who's interested in signing up for training, I was going to do a training actually this coming weekend, October 23rd through the 25th. Quite frankly, I just had a whole lot going on, going through some major transitions. Just did a major move several states just less than 2 weeks ago. And there have been just a lot of things. I've had a lot of things I've been juggling. So I'm postponing the class that was going to be the training that was going to be this coming weekend. But we will be doing it very, very shortly. This has been a major game changer for me. It has certainly changed my life. It's allowed me to help a lot of other people experience major transformations in their life. And it's been one of the greatest honors of my life to be able to help people to have that experience where people are getting freed up from a lot of stuff that's really, really significantly detracted from their quality of life. And to see a person's face just light up, becoming free of pain, or having a tumor disappear, or a disease go away, or whatever the situation, that's been such a blessing. I received a prophetic word quite some time ago that a time would come where I would need to make a decision on whether just to continue doing the healing work myself or to train other people to do it. made the decision to train other people how to do it as well. And now other people I get to help other people to have the experience that I have when I'm working with somebody and they become free of their pain, or they have this healing miracle take place. Um, Oh, it's such a beautiful joy, privilege, and honor to be able to do that. And I love to be able to share with other people so that they can have that experience as well. Anyway, so it seems like today was kind of a quiet day as far as our Hope and Healing Hour was concerned. We're here typically every week. Uh, I wasn't here 2 weeks ago because actually I was driving from Houston, Texas to Tampa, Florida. Um, no, actually I was still packing up, getting ready to drive on Wednesday. Hey, Angela! Angela, I lit up seeing your name there. So good to see you. I was thinking about you earlier. Actually, I've thought about you several times this week. I hope that you're doing well, and that all is well in your neck of the woods in the Atlanta area today. Um, we're just in the process of getting. I don't know if you were just coming on, Angela, or if you were here earlier and just speaking now, but always good to see you. I just think you're a cool person. um, and I'm thankful for the anointing that's on you and on your life. Anyway, just wrapping up. I'm sending out love and just appreciation for everybody who is here. I pray that an abundance of blessings make their way to your doorstep, and that when they show up, that you might open the door and let them in. Uh, on that note, there's an affirmation that I've started doing. I heard it, it was from some book. I don't remember what the book was, but um, it says, I am receiving. And mine is a little bit of alteration from it. I'm receiving now. I'm receiving all the good that God has for me now. And I just sometimes repeat that over and over again. And I'll do the same thing with giving. I'm giving now. I'm giving more and more of the good that God has to flow through me now. And that's a two-way thing, the giving and receiving. But the key in both of them is to dwell in a state of allowing the free flow of energy, of that good energy that God makes available to us to manifest itself in our lives in both receptive state and a giving state, kind of where it's just kind of cycling through that good stuff. Anyway, God bless you all. I love you. I appreciate you. And I will look forward to seeing you very soon. You all take care now.